Raised garden beds are extremely good for not disturbing the roots of other plants. They're a lot easier to maintain or even garden in because you don't have to kneel down or lean over nearly as much. And the raised garden bed will extend your growing season because your soil will warm up sooner and stay warmer longer at the end of your growing season. Give us a thumbs up for a long-lasting raised garden bed, and let's get into this. Hey, this is Devin from Prepping to Survive, where I help you live a simple, safe, and happy life. So the plan with this raised garden bed is to build one with just plain standard wood. Cedar costs twice as much as your low-end grade wood. So what I'm going to be doing is using this cedar garden bed oil to extend the life in the wood that I bought. And I will have enough left over where I can use this for other projects in the future. And this is just a standard natural vegetable and citrus oil. The first thing you want to do is pick a spot for your raised garden bed. Ideally, you want to pick one that has at least 8 hours of sun exposure, and that should be the south-facing side. For this project, you'll need a chop saw or a hacksaw to cut your pieces of wood, a cordless drill to screw the raised garden beds together, gloves to protect your hands, a triangular square to make sure that the corner pieces of your raised garden beds are at 90 degrees, a recessed drill bit if you want your screws to be sunk in, a pencil or a pen to mark out your measurements, 2.5-inch wood deck screws, a set of drill bits to pre-drill your pieces of wood so they don't crack, it makes them last longer, a bit to drill in your deck screws, and a 10-in-1 multi-bit screwdriver. On top, you'll need a measuring tape, 5 feet of 2x4 for the corners, and if you want to break it down, then you can just get 3 pieces of 2x10x8, and you'll have to cut one into the 3-foot increments like what I did. Next, with one of your 2x10s, mark out and cut 2 pieces at 3 feet, and that'll be for the width of your raised garden bed. So the next step can be up to you. Because I bought cheaper pieces of wood and I'm applying cedar garden bed oil on it, I decided to sand all my pieces of wood down to get the dirt off of it and make it smoother. This will also allow the oil to soak in better and your wood to last longer. Generously apply a thick coat on your 2x10s and your 2x4s. To put the corners of your raised garden bed together, you want to start by pre-drilling so the wood doesn't crack. And this is just sized a bit smaller than the wood deck screw. You can hold this bottom end up to your wood deck screw, and if it's a tiny bit smaller, then you're good to go. Next, you want to do the countersink, and this is so your wood deck screws are recessed, and that'll lengthen the life of your wood deck screws and help prevent any breakdown of your raised garden bed. And this is a bit for your wood deck screws. And the one I'm using is a number 9, which can be paired with this one for your drill. That's essentially everything you need to put your raised garden bed together. And for the 2x4s, you'll be measuring a bit wider than this 2x10, and you'll cut it, well, you cut it a bit longer, and you'll just use it so it's kind of a support at the very bottom. It's also a lot easier to level your raised garden bed if you cut it a bit taller and just stake it in. Instead of just shoveling dirt underneath, you can actually, it's easier. I found it easier. For your 2x4, you want to make sure that you put screws in on both sides of the corner of the raised garden bed, and that'll hold this corner together a lot more snug and allow the weight of the dirt to not affect your raised garden bed. In the raised garden bed, I'm planning to amend the soil over the next few years. For now, I put topsoil at the bottom, which is layered with compost. I made it home that wasn't fully broken down, so it'll break down over the course of the next few winters. All-purpose garden soil on top, and compost I bought at Home Depot at the very top. Thank you guys for watching till the end. Let me know in the comments below how your guys' raised bed turned out and what you guys are growing in your raised bed. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to know. Maybe next year I can do something different and I can grow a couple more vegetables that I never even knew. If you like this video, consider subscribing for more gardening tips, survival tips, and prepping tips. If you are interested in making compost at home for your garden, which is extremely healthy for your plants, then my video on DIY compost tumbler up here might be a good one for you to watch. Until next time,